It's morphin' time. It's morphin' time.
Hi there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you the It's Wrestling Time AEW post show. Oh, my intro didn't show. Okay, that's not working. All right, so AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash Edition kicked off with Adam Cole Bay versus Orange Cassidy. So this is a good match. I like that. That was a great way to kick off AEW Dynamite. Um, so the way I thought this was gonna play out was that I thought Adam Cole was going to lose because as we all know, somebody was gonna debut. But that did not play out that way. It actually was the opposite. All right. So one of my first spots actually was when Adam Cole sent Orange Cassidy crashing into the steel steps twice. He was trying to do it third time, but he ended up crashing. He ended up going knee first, which must have hurt. Seriously. And then what happened was during the match, the Young Bucks uh, and Bobby Fish tried to come out, and of course, Best Friends came out, but that didn't need it. The Bobby Fish came out again, and he distracted the referee. And who shows up? Who? None other than Kyle O'Reilly, who's now officially All Elite, and it allows Adam Cole to pick up the win. So then the Bucks come out, and they're kind of Adam Cole's just kind of like looking at them, and like he ends up leaving with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. So it's pretty interesting to see where this is going to go. It's probably going to lead into the Undisputed, formerly the Undisputed Era versus the Young Bucks and Kenny when Kenny Omega comes back. But as I don't know what they're going to call themselves, they can't call themselves Undisputed Era for obvious reasons, And I apologize if my voice if I sound weird. I'm a little under the weather right now. But yeah. So, like I said, great way to kick off AEW Holiday Bash. So next we got a Hangman Adam Page segment. He said that after 60 minutes, he was handed back his title, and it's like last week he felt like less of a champion, and he feels disappointed in himself. And I don't blame him. Like he technically didn't beat Bryan Danielson. He really didn't when you think about it, because it was a draw. Then Bryan Danielson comes out and says he's an entitled millennial cowboy who is disappointed even though he has the AEW World Championship. So then he says the only people that should be disappointed are the AEW fans. And he's not about to cry and tell everybody how sad he is. And he said that if it wasn't for John Silver messing up his leg, he would be AEW champion. He's not there to complain, and he's definitely not some entitled millennial. And Bryan says that he proposes for judges, I guess, during their match. And then Hangman's like, that's the best you could come up with. And it says that Bryan took Hangman to his limit. And that Hangman can beat Bryan in less than an hour. So I really like this segment. It continues their rivalry and sets up their rematch. I don't know what he meant by judges. So it's like he's going to have someone judging the match. That's going to be interesting kind of to see where that goes and how that plays out. All right, so then we had Wardlow versus, I think, Captain Sean Dean. I think that was the guy's name. This is basically a squash match. This was a very quick match. It really was. Of course, Shot Spears hit the captain with the chair. I think the Wardlow's turn is coming. He's definitely turning. I don't know why they're putting him in squash matches. He really doesn't need squash matches, but I guess they're just trying to reestablish him. So then after this, we got a Dan Lambert segment, and he accuses Tony Khan of using the buddy system. Basically saying if you're not Tony's friend, you don't get to be on live TV. You're just on AEW Dark. And you also don't get a title shot. He says, but if you're his buddy, like Cody Rhodes, you get a title shot. And he says that proves his point. And he doesn't know what he wants. He wants to ensure. He says that American Top Team is going to become the next champions. So again, there's Dan Lambert playing the heel. What he said last week about how AEW has become WCW. Now this time, he's accusing Tony Khan of being playing favorites. You can make that argument. You can. Of course, there's two sides to the coin. Like, do you agree with what Dan Lambert is saying? Do you disagree with what he's saying? Does he have a point? Does he not have a point? It's definitely some argument to be made there. Afterwards, Dr. Britt Baker comes out. I mean, she has a segment backstage. It says that she built this division from the ground up. She is a pillar of AEW. And then she built her own throne and kingdom. She's a pulse, and that Rio has another thing coming. If all she wants for Christmas is an AEW title shot, she says she's gonna. That Rio's out of her league, and will shut her eye out. So then after that, we get a very special Owen Hart segment. We had people like Mark Henry, Adam Cole, Eddie Kingston, 2.0, Matt Hardy, Sean Spears, Dustin Rhodes, all say nice things about Owen Hart. And they even showed Dr. Martha Hart's private home videos of Owen. And I don't want fans to turn this into an AEW versus WWE thing. I'm sure that if WWE were able to, they would have done something like this. They've been trying to do something like this for years, but Martha Hart has blocked them and stopped them every single time. So the fact that she let AEW do it, it's just amazing. And we should just be happy that we're finally get to celebrate Owen Hart. And we shouldn't turn this into, like I said, WWE versus AEW thing. Let's just be happy we finally get to acknowledge Owen Hart, and he's finally being recognized for his contributions into the wrestling business. And that's all I'm going to say on that. So then after this, we had the semifinals of the TBS Championship Tournament. It was Ruby Soho versus Nyla Rose. And I like this match. Of course, Vicky Guerrero got involved multiple times. She tried to help Nyla Rose win. But in the end, it really didn't matter because Ruby Soho was victorious. Now, if you ask me, it could go either way next week. It could either be Jade Carter versus Ruby Soho or Thunder Rosa versus Ruby Soho. I honestly think they're going to go with Jade Cargill versus Ruby Soho. I see Jade Cargill becoming the first CBS Women's Champion. The Young Bucks got dumped. Oh, hi, Jabel. Maybe. Do I sound funny? Like I said, if I do, it's because I am a little under the weather. So I personally am looking forward to that match. I really do think we're going to get a Jade Cargill versus Ruby Soho in the finals. Then after this, we got the Malakai Black versus Griff Garrison. This is kind of a quick match. No, it's not too quick, but Griff Garrison didn't even stand a chance against Malakai Black. Like, seriously, he didn't. So, of course, Malakai Black ended up winning. I don't know why I put here Griff Garrison. I don't know why. But Malakai Black ended up winning, and Brian Pillman Jr. had to push Malakai Black off Griff Garrison because he wasn't going to let go from his submission move. So I'm curious to see where that goes. Then in the main event, we had the trios match. It was CM Punk, Sting, Darby Allin versus FTR and MJF. I like how MJF and FTR wore matching trunks, I guess you could say, so to speak. And I also like how Sting came out as CM Jamal McGee, CM Sting. Yeah, that's funny. I was like how Sting wore a CM Punk shirt and he wore his CM Punk face paint and stuff like that. And CM Punk came out rocking Surfer era Sting makeup, which I thought was freaking cool, or more phenomenal, even though it's not Power Rangers. This is like a very fun, fantastic match. So I like how MJF ran away from CM Punk. I think he ran away 3 times or twice. But one of those times they went through the crowd and backed down. He was just trying to avoid facing Punk. Like, seriously. He was supposed to open the match, but he tagged himself out. He did not want to deal with CM Punk at all. I think that was my first spot in the match. And then MJF, of course, stopped the Scorpion Deathlock. Sting, another favorite spot in this match that I like was when Sting jumped from the top rope and he took out FTR and MJF. At his age, he's doing moves like that. Holy cow, that was freaking fantastic, if you ask me. And then, then the other spot where CM Punk was quartered by MJF and FTR, and Sting came, and then Darby Allin took them out. That was another great spot. Of course, CM Punk, Sting, and Darby Allin were victorious. Sting was going to hit MJF with the Scorpion Deathlock, but Dax saved him. So he ended up getting hit with GTS, the coffin drop, and by Sting, and that allowed them to win the match. This is actually a great episode of AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash Edition. If you ask me, I'd give this. What would I rate this? I'd give this a 4.5 out of 5, just for the simple fact I didn't like the Wardlow match. I know they were kind of building a storyline. It was a squash match. You could have been done without that, and it would have been a perfect episode if you ask me. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Jabal Baker says, right, MJF. Right. Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely. But aside from that, it was a really great episode. I liked everything top to bottom except for the Wardlow match. Like I said, I could have done with that. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Thank you guys all so much for watching and for continue watching. Your support has mean the world to me. I do have some new stuff coming out for the New Year's, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow after Impact Wrestling, depending on how my voice feels. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. Bye.